All right, I've got this little clip from MSNBC that I thought was perfect, and it really explains the heart of the issue of this debate and uh, how deeply entrenched the Democrats are and how they absolutely refuse to even consider common sense changes to the rules in the law. So listen to this little clip and let's talk about this.
Did not shut.
All right, let him answer.
Let me throw this back to you, Donnie. Do you think it's unreasonable that Obama be in Obamacare?
I'm sorry.
So this is the question, should Obama, and the guy's like, huh, what? Because Obama is in Obamacare. It's the word Obamacare. Obama is in Obamacare. And the word. No, he says, shouldn't Obama, the man, be required to be in the program and get the same care and benefits that everyone else gets?
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. One more
Do you
time?
think it's unfair that Obama be in Obamacare and the administration be in Obamacare? Members of Congress are going to be in. So are a lot of Americans. Isn't it fair that the president, who holds out this health care reform bill as being so great, that he join us in Obamacare? Isn't that fair?
That was the issue for you. That was the issue for the caucus. That was the issue for the Republican Party.
And shutting down.
That was it. That was what it came down to. That was what was keeping the government closed. That Obama refused to be included in his own plan. Can you believe this?
This is the proposal that we made before the government shut down. We said Obama has to be in Obamacare, and they want to treat individuals and families just like big businesses in regard to taxes. And last night, the deal that John Boehner was working out was a clean CR, which is the funding bill, and a debt limit increase for the exchange that the president and the administration join us in Obamacare.
So as I was saying in my earlier video today, the clean CR is bullcrap, because what it is it's working outside regular order. Regular order is the House and the Senate come together make a budget, and then the president signs the budget. That's how it's supposed to work. But we've been working on these continuing resolutions because we're outside of regular order. If you want to know more about that, you can refer to one of my earlier videos by clicking on the video button on my page there.
The reason that's important is that if the administration families are sitting at the computer, Jay Carney's wife, Michelle Obama, is sitting at the computer trying to sign up for Obamacare, and they can't get in, they're going to be that much more compelled to fix the program.
By the way,
instead of saying,
Meek and I, Congressman, are laughing at each other laughing right now, because yesterday we were talking to somebody that ran one of the largest banks in America, and they tried to get on to change benefits for their spouse, and they couldn't get anything done.
Well, now he's arguing against Obamacare. I mean, for the longest time, he's been saying how unreasonable Republicans are for just asking for a delay. Listen, if you can delay the Obamacare for your big business buddies and for Congress and for all your little friends and stuff, then, how about doing it for the little guy too? Would that be cool? I mean, as a gesture of not being, having a king syndrome, you think that'd be all right?
So they picked up the phone and they called the person who was in charge of benefits and called them into their office and said, have you tried to get on? Have you tried to get on and change benefits for your spouse or anything?
Joe's waking up.
And they said no and made them get on. They couldn't get it done.
They can't get on.
I'm telling you, does that not sound... So the only reason I say that is it's really, I think it is a rational, reasonable argument, Mort Zuckerman, to say if you're going to exempt the administration from the Affordable Care Act, if you're going to exempt Congress from the Affordable Care Act, if you're going to exempt your favorite businesses from the Affordable Care Act, then we ask that you exempt working class Americans, middle class Americans, small business owners from the Affordable Care Act. Is that not a rational argument?
I think it is a rational argument. Unfortunately,
that's what the Republicans had been arguing. But MSNBC, CNN, NBC, ABC, they've been telling us that the Republicans are unreasonable. They're shutting down the government. What are we asking? What are conservatives asking? They're saying, look, no special deals. If you say this is a good deal, If you're saying that everybody should be in it because it's so wonderful, get in the pool.
Republicans lost this argument before.
Yes.
And it's all being gone through legislative process, the courts.
Yeah, the legislative process, as I said in my prior video, was a Democrat-controlled House, which completely railroaded it, not a single Republican vote. The Senate, controlled by the Democrats, completely railroaded it, not a single Republican vote. And the president, of course, controlled by a Democrat. Yeah, that was pretty easy. And then they got it through the Supreme Court by lying about its true nature, because during the entire debate they were saying that it was a an insurance, and to get it through the Supreme Court they had to lie and say it was a tax. That's why they have to use the IRS to collect it, because otherwise it wouldn't be constitutional. You can't force people to buy insurance, but you can force them to pay a tax.
Can bring this up over and over again. It's just going to destroy them politically.
Yeah, they're going to be destroyed politically because they are making a reasonable argument that everybody agrees with, even the Democrats agree with it. Everybody agrees with this argument, but because they've already lost that argument to the who is these people that are making this argument? That no, I don't know. I don't get it. What do you mean? Who is this guy that's making this statement?
At some point, you've got to make a judgment here.
They've lost that. They've lost that debate in this.
If the congressman wants to make that argument, he could pass a law. If the problem is the only reason Republicans are the issue here is not the question. The issue here is not the question of whether or not that's a good idea. The question is whether or not House Republicans are allowed to hold the country hostage over the.
It's not the House of Representatives holding anybody. They're supposed to pass a budget. The Senate's supposed to pass a budget, and then the president's allowed to veto it if he doesn't like it. That's all that's supposed to happen. That hasn't happened. We have not had a budget from the Senate for years. So obviously the Senate and the president are obstructing justice. We're supposed to have a budget, and the House is supposed to be involved.
Debt ceiling over that issue. If Congressman Duffy wants to pass that law, pass it through the House of Representatives and see if you can pass the law.
This is going to be a great answer to this guy, and you'll see that even Joe is persuaded.
So, Congressman, you're responding, Joe. Congressman,
are you telling me that we're holding America hostage by asking Obama to be in Obamacare?
I'm saying that if that's the condition for the debt ceiling, yes, you are.
No, listen.
It's exactly what you're doing.
It's not unreasonable that we have disagreements in Washington, no doubt, but it's unprecedented here that the president won't negotiate with us.
Hold on. Let the congressman answer
the
question. Go ahead, Congressman.
Listen. The president is unwilling to engage in a debate. And if you ask about fairness and equality under the law to your viewers, they would say it's fair that members of Congress who voted for Obamacare should be in Obamacare, and the president should be in Obamacare. Listen, there's millions of Americans that are going to be going into this new health care reform bill. If it's good for the American people, it should be good enough for the president, Michelle, the kids, my family, all the government families who voted for this legislation. They should be in it. They shouldn't have their own gold-plated health care plan. And I don't think it's reasonable to make the argument that the president's going to shut the government down because he doesn't want to be in Obamacare. And listen, and Mika, I got to tell you, Mika, my mom is a good liberal, and she loves you, and she's happy I'm on your show. But I think you're part of the problem. And you're part of the problem because the Republican caucus sometimes can be unreasonable, but look how far we've moved. We said we want to defund it. Okay. Now we're going to delay it, and now we're just going to ask for some very simple tweaks and reforms. And if you actually called out your liberal guests and said, "Why won't you join Obamacare? If it's good for America, it should be good for you." So why? Listen, if an American family can't sign up on the website, why are you going to tax them?
All right, so
that's not right.
You have a lot of good questions, but as part of the problem, as you so kindly put it, I will ask you very honestly.
I like asking you questions better, Mika. But okay.
It's fine. Do you not think that members of your party, especially in Congress and in the Ted Cruz group, are not imploding the Republican Party, big picture? Just
imploding? You see, this is the great thing, because the left-leaning media has always had a little control over the Republicans, the mainstream Republicans, or what the old school people. Really, these are the compromisers, and they say compromise, we have to compromise. Well, guess what? Compromise got us in this problem. This is the situation we're in, is because everybody sat around and said, you know what, I'll let you spend that if you let me spend that. That's how it worked. Instead of having a compromise that said, listen, I'll cut my benefits on this edge if you cut your benefits on that end. None of that is going on, because they figured out they can feed from the government trough. But this guy laid it out pretty good, and I think the Democrats were cornered. They don't realize that they've been beat up so badly that the Republicans gave in because they saw people suffering. But the Democrats refused to give in and didn't even know what they were arguing about. All this time they were arguing. Do you think Joe knew that the argument was over whether Obama would be included in Obamacare? I mean, this is serious.
Big picture, politics, put all this aside for a second. Are you guys not imploding?
Big picture, I think this was a horrible strategy. I came on your show and I said that. If we had allowed Obamacare to roll out, and for 2 weeks America saw the dysfunction, and then as we roll into the debt limit and negotiate an increase, I think we would have got a 1 year delay, because America would have said this is only the fair and right thing to do.
1 year delay is not what we really need, obviously. I mean, if you're in business and you're sitting there saying, okay, they got this gun pointed at my business's head, and they're saying, we're about ready to pull the trigger. You got 3 days. You know what? We're gonna give you a 1 year extension on that. Okay, well then I'm gonna go out and hire a bunch of new people, and I'm gonna make the economy really good because I got another year. No, we need some security for the companies that are trying to start out, and for the bigger ones too. They should know that this is the law, this is the way it is, and that we don't have to worry about it changing in a year.
From a messaging standpoint, Congressman, I agree with you.
Yeah.
So see, your mother, your mother may be right.
And your mom
and I
is
mean,
fabulous, by the way.
My mom loves you.
Hi, Mom. Man, what?
Anyway, the main point is, if Obamacare is such a great idea, Obama should be in it, don't you think? And if he refuses to get in it, then that shows how terrible it is, and it shows that he's a tyrant that is trying to stuff everybody in a box that he refuses to get in with him. So that's my main point, and I was just thrilled to see the stymied left-leaning commenters here going, what? This is what we were arguing over, whether Obama would get in? You mean this is why we had all these poor people without their benefits, and this is why they went out and shuttered all of these open air monuments so that the old people couldn't go and see their loved ones' names on the walls and stuff out in the open air? Are you serious? And today I see Obama speaking on CNN, and what's he saying? Oh, this is proof that the people need the government. This is proof, and hopefully, this is what he said. Hopefully, the people got a little taste of what it's like, what kind of suffering can go on if you don't have government tit to suck on. That's what he said. Not exactly, but that's what he was saying. Look at all the suffering, but it was all man-made suffering because everything was already paid for. They were closing things that were paid for. Not only that, they were spending a lot more money. Listen, an open air monument costs nothing to keep open. There's no need. You don't even need a guard. But when they put these blockades around, now they need several guards, many. So where'd these guards come from? Who paid for them? Who paid for the blockades to put them up? You got it's not cheap, and it costs money to put them up. Anyway, it's good talking to you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
Sir, what's his mom going to think about him saying that you're the problem?
Son does a good job. I don't agree with him, but he's...
Does your mom yell at you after this? Does your mom yell at you after this?
He needs some education.
Is your mom, Donnie wants to know if your mom's going to call you after this and yell at you.
Listen, my mom will love her shout out on your program because she loves it so much.
What's your mom's name?
Carol.
Carol.
Say hi to Carol.
Carol, we love you. We don't know what went wrong with your son, but we love you. We know you're a wonderful woman.
Come on, Carol, I love your son.
Congressman Sean
Duffy, doing a great job for the people.